You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly.
Good morning. My name is Rafael Salaverrios. I'm Senior Vice President for the Division of Small Business and Capital Access here at Empire State Development, and the designee for the New York EZ Chair. Hope Knight, President and CEO, has appointed me as a designee. I now call the meeting of the directors of the New York Empowerment Zone Corporation for today, Monday, February 9th at 1 p.m. I'd like to note for the record that the public has been given the opportunity to comment on the agenda items by submitting their written comments at or before 5 p.m. yesterday. It should be Friday, I guess so.
Yes.
Okay. If before we begin and such, no, we have not received any comments.
No.
And so I will move the meeting forward. So before we begin with the substantive portion of the meeting, I would like to ask the directors whether anyone has any potential conflict of interest with respect to any of the agenda items. If so, I would ask you to please make an appropriate disclosure on the record at this time. We will then be sure that you may recuse yourself from any discussion or vote regarding such item. Okay? Hearing none, we shall make a note and move forward. The first item for approval is Genesis Companies, LLC of Upper Manhattan, Empowerment Zone Development Corporation. Gina Bolden Rivera will present the first item.
On September 15, 2025, the Board of Directors of the Upper Manhattan Empowerment Zone Development Corporation approved and authorized NYES to submit Genesis Companies, LLC to the New York Empowerment Zone. Authorization to fund a pre-development loan not to exceed $1,500,000, subject to the terms and conditions substantially similar to those included in the presentation materials. The approval of the loan shall expire 9 months after the adoption of these resolutions. Genesis is a developer with a successful record of acquiring, renovating, building, and maintaining affordable housing in Upper Manhattan. A developer that is growing and expanding to other neighborhoods in New York City and New Jersey. The proposed loan will support the Cleo Jenkins portfolio, a troubled group of buildings consisting of 16 walk-up buildings containing 197 residential units plus 4 commercial units that the Genesis Group acquired in 2019 from the New York City Department of Housing Preservation and Development and New York City Housing Development Corporation in support of the sale of these properties. The acquisition funding included $8.7 million for the rehab across the entire portfolio, including roof and facade repairs, boiler replacements, and aging in place upgrades to kitchens and bathrooms. Despite the full completion of the scope of work, the properties have not been stabilized and converted to permanent financing. Instead, Genesis has been collaborating with HPD and HDC to recapitalize the portfolio to cover the identified renovation necessary to provide the rent restructuring essential to support the increased operating costs. HPD and HDC have agreed to renovation costs of $14.77 million for essential work for the portfolio and rent restructuring. The $1.5 million loan will provide the pre-development funds to pay third-party reports before the permanent loan closing, which is projected in July of 26. The permanent loan closing will satisfy the Citibank loan and the proposed pre-development loan from UMES. This project will preserve the long-term affordability of 16 walk-up buildings containing 197 apartments and will facilitate rehabilitation to improve the quality of life for the low-income tenants.
Oh. Any questions from the board? Anyone? Or is just, I'm the only person who has questions here then, I guess?
No question.
I have one.
Okay.
So I know what the project is. This is a worthwhile project. The only question I have is, in that community, there are small business owners, specifically contractors. Is Genesis making any effort that the contractor, the subcontractors they're utilizing for this project be community-based? Have they done any outreach from that point of view?
Genesis has been in the community a long time. They've developed relationships with a number of those subcontractors, and they continue to make that effort throughout the years.
Can we confirm that they will have?
Yes, we can. I can do that.
Okay.
I can confirm that they did and that they will have.
Okay. For another point of view, I'd like to see if we can, New York State as a whole, we're trying to work to help these subcontractors who don't necessarily have to be minority or women-owned, but these small subcontractors sometimes have difficulty with access to capital. So can you make it a point to mention to Genesis that New York State has a program that can help these contractors who need access to capital? I think it's good for what we're doing. It's good for the community that we try to engage these contractors, make an effort to engage these contractors, and then have it so that the contractors need assistance. They can come to New York State, and New York State can give them the assistance they need to help make these projects much more palatable for them.
Okay. We can make those two adjustments.
Also, there's no question or comments from directors.
I have one comment just in general, UMass has this 9-month expiration that was mentioned, but the NYEZ does not.
Oh, okay.
The NYEZ does a authorization.
Okay.
It's just indefinite.
Okay.
And so in the others that.
I'll take that out.
Okay. So if we have no other questions or comments from the public regard to this item, I will now entertain a motion for approval.
So move.
Second. Can I second?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for that. The motion carries.
We need a vote.
I thought we just voted with the second and.
Second for the motion and
The motion.
Okay. All in favor? I'm getting used. This is my first one, so I gotta, have a little patience with me today. I'll be better the next time around. That's for sure. That's for sure.
We're trying to make more frequent meetings.
Right. So our next item is the Apollo Theater.
Yes.
Okay. And he's making the presentation.
Okay. On December 17th, 2025, the Board of Directors of UMES Development Corporation approved and authorized UMES to submit Apollo Theater Foundation to New York Empowerment Zone for authorization to fund a bridge loan not to exceed $8 million, subject to the terms and conditions substantially similar to those in the presentation materials. The approval of the Apollo Theater opened in 1914 and has become one of New York City's most iconic performing arts institutions. The theater is planning its first full-scale renovation and restoration designed to preserve and enhance their historic performing arts institution. The $72.2 million renovation is being financed through a blend of public and private financing. $23 million will come from New Markets tax credits, $10 million from ESDC, $28 million from the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs in over a 5-year period from 20 to 25, historic tax credits provided with the National Trust Community, Investment Corporation. JP Morgan will provide a bridge loan of $20 million to cover construction until DCLA funds are received. UMES loan would provide an $8 million bridge loan to cover the balance of the New York City DCLA funds. The impact of the preservation and renovation of this historic theater in Harlem will have the following impact. It will support 196 private sector jobs and 184 full-time construction jobs, upgrade the facade and interior of this National Registry historic building, and continue to allow the Apollo to support program access to local residents and students. In 2025, 2,700 residents and students were supported with more than $54,000 in some subsidized access. UMES loan subsidizes the interest rate of the project by charging a lower rate for the project.
Thanks. Any questions or comments from the directors? Any questions or comments from the public? If there are no questions or comments, I will entertain a motion for approval. Second,
Second.
all in favor? Any opposed? All right, thank you. And the Apollo project has been approved. And next on the last on the agenda, I believe, the Apollo Theater,
The Apex
the Apex, excuse me, Apex. I'm sorry.
Building Group.
Let's go on with that one. Gina, go ahead.
Okay.
You're on the roll. Go
Okay.
ahead.
On December 17, 2025, the Board of Directors of UMES Development Corporation approved and authorized UMES to submit Apex Building Group to the New York Empowerment Zone for authorization to fund a pre-development loan not to exceed $2.5 million, subject to the terms and conditions substantially similar to those included in the presentation materials. Apex was founded in Harlem in 1997. Since its founding, they have successfully completed over $1.3 billion in construction activity, resulting in the addition of preservation of more than 7,500 affordable residential units in New York and New Jersey. The UMES loan would finance pre-development expenses for the $262 million rehab of the Wilson houses, a 3-building, 398-unit New York City Housing Authority development at 2040 First Avenue in East Harlem. The Wilson houses are in the process of transitioning from NYCHA management under Section 9 public housing to Section 8 public housing through the Permanent Affordability Commitment program, which is NYCHA's local implementation of the Federal Rental Assistance Demonstration, RAD. By converting publicly managed units funded by project-based vouchers, RAD enables developers to borrow against a future rental income stream while preserving affordability and unlocking financing for renovations that is not accessible for Section 9 properties, which rely on annual federal appropriations for funding. This project will preserve the long-term affordability of 398 public housing units and will facilitate rehabilitation to improve the quality of life for these low-income tenants, and it will significantly improve their housing and apartments.
All right. Okay, any questions from the directors, comments? I have two questions.
Okay.
All right, one, I noticed the rate that you're charging them. I mean, it's fine rate, but it's variable. So how long do you think they're going to take before they're able to close on this and pay off UMass?
So we're hoping that they close in the next few weeks.
Okay.
And under their projections,
Is it 1 month?
yeah, it's certainly before the end of this year.
Okay.
But and we've had a conversation with HTC about that in terms of the funding. So that's our best estimate, that it'll be approximately, a year. But we have a 2-year term on this.
Yeah, we have a 2 year.
I noticed that. Okay. But okay, I mean,
They all tell us it's gonna be 6 months, 3 months, but we'll see.
they're big boys.
We'll see.
I also noticed that they spend over $200,000 on what they call community engagement. What does that mean? I didn't get understood what that was.
When with the NYCHA project, with this RAD project, they have to hold meetings with the tenants.
Mhm.
They have to get the tenants' approval of the plans and specs. They have to, there's a tenant group that they have to continuously go to collaborate with throughout the entire process. And so this has been going on for a very long time. This negotiation with the tenants, they're the second developer. And so they've spent money, making sure that the tenants understood the process. They've had counseling, they've had architects there. So that's the community engagement. And they may have also provided some for events or something, but primarily their responsibility is around ensuring that the tenants agree with all of the process.
Okay, so I guess I'm going to make a similar comment to the projects with the other group that we just worked with Genesis.
Subcontractors.
Because I think it makes sense for us if we're going to work within the empowerment zone, and we want to make sure the companies that are working in the empowerment zone are actually trying to engage the small businesses in the empowerment zone, right? Whether that be making sure their materials are purchased from within the empowerment zone. Any small business that has the opportunity to bid on a project should be given the opportunity to do these projects. I know it's contractor heavy, but we really want to make sure that they do their due diligence and hire as many folks from within that community. Right?
We spoke to them about it specifically, and they said that they have historically done it, and they commit to continuing to do it.
Okay. So we have any questions for directors or any questions from the public? So if I hear no questions or no comments, I move to entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you all. So the motion carries. Thank you, Gina, again for this Apex project. And if there's nothing further for us to talk about, I suggest that we
have one more
One more.
initiative, the lease.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Is
Please.
The UMass office lease.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't see this before. Is it? Okay. I see it. All right. Gina?
No.
Nora.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. I'll do better next time, folks.
So the current lease at 55 West 125th Street expires in September 30th of this year. We have been there for 15 years.
Right.
There are limited office options up in that area, and so we explored various options and narrowed it down to 2: either staying where we are or moving to 121 West 125th Street. Our current space is 9,645 square feet and was furnished with pre-existing furniture that was there at the time. The space at 121 is a little bit smaller at 8,974 square feet, and it's raw space requiring a complete build out. The total build out cost would be about $2.58 million, which would be shared by the landlord and UMass, with the landlord contributing a bit over half and UMass contributing up to $1.3 million. Advantages to the new space are better configuration for efficient use of space and collaboration, and a tenant mix that is more aligned with UMass's mission. Lease costs over the lease period, the cash flow, are fairly comparable as laid out in the memo. And at the December 17th UMass board meeting, the board approved us engaging legal counsel to negotiate a lease and to relocate to 121 West 125th Street and approve use of up to 1.3 million for the build out cost.
Right. 121 West 25th, where is that?
That is the National Urban League new building and the
Ah.
building with Trader Joe's and Target
I
at the
know it's
ground
like-
floor.
Sure.
And Studio Museum of Harlem has their administrative space in that building. United Negro College Fund is in the building. And what's that?
Yeah, 100 Blackberry will be moving.
And an HBCU.
Yes, Virginian Commonwealth, I think. It's not
Really?
Virginia. Oh, the the United Negro
I
College
said
Fund.
that,
Okay.
yeah. But there's
There's
an HSBCU setting up
Right.
offices
In that same building?
in
Yeah.
that same building.
The
So-
Urban League's in that building, aren't they?
They have a different entrance, but they're in the same building. Right.
And then on the other side of the building are affordable housing units.
On the other side. Okay. All right. Well, any questions or comments from the directors with regard to this item? I don't believe we have any comments from the public. So I will entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Well, thank you. The motion carries. Congratulations, you miss. Good luck on your space. Thank you all.
Thank
Did you have, for other business,
Yeah, I mean, I was really gonna just tell you
Oh.
3 small loans that we've done in Harlem.
Oh, obviously, but okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it's
no
just,
approval required?
No.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought, because that wasn't on my list.
yeah, no, it wasn't. Just 3 small loans. We on September 30th, we closed a $50,000 microloan to a new Puerto Rican fusion restaurant in East Harlem, Coco Tasso,
Really?
a 6-year-old company that
Where is it located? Can I write this
On
down?
100
and 9th Street.
and First Avenue.
What's the name?
First
Yeah.
Avenue.
Okay,
I just had them cater an event that I had at the public theater.
109th and First Avenue.
Yeah, and
I'll be there.
they were in the market a long time, but now
Yeah, but they had a truck there.
yeah, no. I went Saturday. for
What's the name of the
first
restaurant?
time. Coco Tasso.
Cocotazo.
So Cocotazo, como Cocotazo. Oh, okay. Okay, I was ready with that, man. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
that's great.
The second one that we did was a $50,000 microloan to a business called Tastings, which is located in East Harlem, and they are a catering company also, but they are part of the new traditional transitional experience kind of catering company that does full scale events for their clients, and that includes and
Sure.
so it's different. It's more. It's no. They don't own the restaurant, but it's always in leased space.
Right.
And you go and they make it look.
And it's in
like-
East Harlem.
Pop up or something.
the space. The company's headquarters is
East Harlem.
East Harlem,
Good.
but that's small, so they rent out other space. So that's them. And the third one is also in East Harlem.
Excellent.
It's Julio Valdez Studio, which is located on 106th Street. And it's a $50,000 term loan. And Julio is an acclaimed art expert that he established the project space in East Harlem, where he has space that he leases out to other artists to allow them to do their work and to showcase
Right.
their pieces. And so this is our third loan.
That's great.
And so we just closed another one.
That's commendable. Right? Those small business loans are vitally important in the community. You know, as credit gets tighter for some reason, credit getting tighter, it's good that you guys are out there lending money to people who really need it. So I salute you guys on that. Thank you. All right, so this has been great. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Well,
Right? So we're good. Let's adjourn.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you. Cocotazo, huh? Yeah.